Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of me playing Minecraft on my supporter server. I'm MrEnvelope. Hello. Oh, I gotta be careful. I could hit the bees. They're just flying around everywhere. Yeah, check it out. I've been doing a bit of surviving here. We got some cows over here. You know, I'm trying to breed them. Thought it would be a good idea to have some bees to come and pollinate the crops. And I thought it'd be a good idea to get a bunch of beeswax because we're going to be using it for a bunch of our builds, like fixing up the roof and stuff, get it all cleaned up. So I have all these little basic farms here, you know, food supply, get some leather, and some beeswax. I've also gone ahead and furnished all of our inside. It's not completely finished, but for the most part, I would say it's done. There's just a couple things missing in like some item frames, and I think that's actually it. Everything is pretty much done. We got all the carpets in, all the chests and stuff. Things are looking pretty good. I've yet to really like move in, but for the most part, everything is done. We even got the enchanting setup all done thanks to the cows. So today, what I actually want to do is build a blacksmith area because I've been processing a whole bunch of copper, and I think I'm going to be using that a whole bunch for a lot of the builds. And I don't really like just throwing everything in the 4 blast furnace I have. I'd like to make something that would smelt things a bit faster, a little more automated. And where I'm planning to build the blacksmith building is actually kind of where the cows are, so I'm gonna have to move them and move the crop field. I just want to make sure we have space there and not have all that stuff in between. So yeah, I'm just gonna clear out some space over here, and we'll try to migrate as many cows as we can over here, breed them up, and then probably kill the rest because we don't need them. And then I want to pick up all the bee nests and put those away too. So we got a little bit of cleanup to do. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this in the most sloppy and inefficient way possible. Let all the cows out, and then try to grab a couple and lock them back up. You know what? We got 4 in here. That's good enough. We'll make this work. Oh, 5. Okay, we got 5 in here. All right, so everything is cleared out. I moved it over there. We got a few cows and the bees. They're in a chest right over there. But yeah, everything's cleared out, and I started building the blacksmith area, but I just remembered we actually need to go to the nether. We need to go to the nether because we need just a couple bits of blackstone for this project, and we also need to get some soul sand. I was doing some mining around the base, and I found a spawner, but not just any spawner. I found 2 spawners. So we got this zombie one right here and a skeleton one right here. They're super close to each other, so we're pretty lucky. I was going to try to connect these things up together, but I remembered I needed some soul sand for this project, so that's why I got to go to the nether. Now, I've already got the obsidian and a whole bunch of gold, so we can maybe do a little bit of trading, and we're going to build the portal away from our home, pretty much. I'm not crazy about portal noises, so I thought it would be smart to build this far from home. And there we go. We're in the nether. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special. Oh, wow, it's really dark in here. Okay, this should help. So we're here to grab soul sand and grab some blackstone. Now I'm hoping we can just get some piglins to trade. I don't really want to go mining because my pick is super weak. We'll definitely have to later because I'd like to get some netherite, but that's not important now. We're just here for a few resources. All right, we got a piglin, but just one of them. I don't know where the rest of his friends are, but made a few trades already. Nothing really worthwhile. I also grabbed some nether quartz because we're going to need some comparators and observers for the auto smelter we're going to make. And now we just trade with this guy till he gives us a decent amount of blackstone. I was hoping we'd find like just a handful of these guys and just do a bunch of bulk trading, but I guess not. Guess we're not going to get that lucky. Okay, I got 3 piglins. Only some of them are looking to barter, it seems. Will you guys see that? Do you see that down there? Soul speed 2! Nice. 1 step closer to soul speed 3. Hey, buddy. There's gold in there. You want some gold? Okay. I think they've traded everything that they can, so now we just kill them all, because they are of no use to me. Alright, guys, so I think we got a pretty good haul here. It's a lot more than I wanted, and we still have some gold to spare, but that's good. I'm not complaining about that. But I'm going to try to make my way back home if I can remember where the portal is. I'm going to build the blacksmith area, and we'll take a look at that together. So I'll see you in a sec. Wow, and what a sec that was. But anyways, this is the blacksmith build, and I gotta say, I really like this. I think it came out pretty cool. The shape of the build is based off of something I found on Google from Cardling's Game. They designed a blacksmith building for, I guess, something they're working on, but I thought it looked pretty cool, so I went ahead and I based the shape of the building off of that. And I did my best to do like some interior decorating stuff using the tips that I tried to learn from Ninny from my single player episode. Basically, I invited a friend in my single player world, had him decorate a building that I built, and he showed me a lot of techniques to try to build like a story for the person who would live there in this building. And that's what I tried to do here. So the character I made up is someone who loves to smelt metals, loves to do metalworking, make tools, all that cool stuff. And I also tried to make it very survival friendly so I could make this useful for myself. We got tons of furnaces here. This is going to be the input for our super smelter, but we're only going to be smelting metals here. So it's just going to be a bunch of blast furnaces down below in a big smelting farm. I tried to show a bunch of like different metal making techniques. So we got like tools on the wall. I took a couple of them down. We got tons of lanterns and chains. And then coming inside, I designed it so it's part shop, part home. So up here we have like where the business happens. And then taking a step back over here, these are just some things that I'm guessing he may have found while doing some trading or maybe while mining for metals himself. Just various gems. He has a small kitchen, very, very small kitchen with just the necessities. A little bit of storage space up here, nothing crazy. And then we also have his bedroom where he sleeps. Very simple, very humble. But yeah, I'm very pleased with how this came out. I think it's gonna fit pretty well. And we gotta wait for the roof to oxidize the same way as our home roof did. But yeah, I think this is gonna be pretty good. And like I said, this is gonna be the input for our big super smelter. So let's actually go ahead and do that right now. So I dug out a little bit of space back over here. The whole smelter is going to be underground, and we're going to do it pretty deep so that we don't hear a lot of the redstone happening in the minecarts. That's one of my biggest pet peeves with redstone stuff is when you got like dispensers or droppers clicking away or you hear minecarts rolling around. It's mostly the constant minecart noise that drives me nuts. The dropper noise that we're going to have will also drive me nuts, but we can walk away from that, and it's not something that'll constantly be going, so these two droppers are going to act as like the main input, and in fact, I'm going to put them one more lower, just like that. So these are going to go down into these little tubes. In each tube, there's a water stream, a very tiny one, that's just going to try to solidify these into a single spot. And to get items into these droppers, we're going to use a couple hoppers. There's only going to be 4, and then from here, we're going to have like a little tiny stack of hopper minecarts. They'll move items from this input super fast down into these. They'll get equally distributed into the droppers, so we'll have 2 times the amount of items getting thrown out, so hopefully it'll go by pretty quick. I'm not trying to make this to be like super fast and super efficient, but I would like it to be kind of fast and kind of efficient. Now to get this input to work how I want it to, we have to try to get these hopper minecarts stacked up like right in the middle of these 4 hoppers. Okay, cool. So we got this big tower of hopper minecarts. We pretty much just have to center this one like right in between these 2 blocks and then center the bottom in between all 4. So now we got a wobbly stack of carts that kind of looks like this, but we're gonna go ahead and break this one. See how fast everything got picked up. I want to have some aesthetics here, so you need to put down these temporary blocks. So, oh, I can't do this. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do it without that one there. I think it gets picked up still. Okay, so this minecart can still reach above that. That's kind of important because now we're gonna try to force another minecart on top of those. And to do that, we have to like freehand it. I think that'll be good. So let's do that, drop that on top, and then now we can put those magma blocks back and use pistons to push them into place. And if we're lucky, I think if we throw items right in the center, they get picked up, and that's honestly perfect. That's just what I want. I'm the only one who's going to be using this smelter, so as long as it looks good and I know how to use it, then I think we'll be fine. And the next thing we got to do is make sure that these droppers are going to be able to shoot everything out as fast as they can. So we got to set up some comparators, have those go into sticky pistons. We're going to have 2 observers facing each other, and when they do that, they'll constantly tick like this. And we only want it to give a signal only when there's an item inside of the dropper. And whenever it's taken out, it'll retract. And we just run the redstone up over here, and now all those items are getting dispensed pretty quickly too. And then we repeat the same thing on the opposite side. And a quick test to make sure it works. Yep, there we go. Very good. So everything up there is looking pretty good. We got the input going, we got the auto droppers going. They're all coming down these little tubes and getting put into this one block here. This is going to be where we have a hopper minecart run by. It's going to run atop these tracks over here, and it's going to hopefully equally distribute everything into these blast furnaces. We're going to place them in such a way so that whenever there's a big pile of ore here, the hopper minecart that runs by is going to equally distribute everything atop the hoppers. The rails are going to look something like this, very simple, so that the minecart will go up and down this track over and over and over forever. And to make sure that things aren't like flying off on the edges, we're going to add some blocks here to act as like guards. So the minecart can still go through, but hopefully all the items will just stay here. And then for a fueling system, we're going to put more hoppers all around each of the blast furnace faces on the sides. And this will be how we put fuel in. And we'll have to set up another system for fuel, but for now we'll just do this like this. And technically everything's done now. We can just put items into the input and they'll get picked up by this minecart right here. But it would be nice to have an auto output system as well. So let's go ahead and set that up. We're basically just doing something real simple. So underneath everything, I got these two droppers facing downwards, and we're just going to have a collection of hoppers. So we end up with something like this, just a whole mess of hoppers going into these two droppers so things can get outputted twice as quickly. And we're going to set up an output system in a very similar way to what we had up above. So we'll use these comparators to read the inventories of the droppers, which should have fully smelted items. Whenever something's inside of them, it's going to power that piston, sticky piston, and it's going to push those observers into each other. We're going to send the pulse over here, and it's going to power both of those droppers. And to make sure that this one also doesn't get stuff left behind, we'll take this signal and we'll put it over here with the repeater, so it's also going to power the piston. The last thing to do is to just make sure we have like a proper collection system. So everything's going to get dispensed here. We can... Oh, I think we're going to have to do this. We'll have two water streams coming over here. They'll go into a single stream, and then we'll send them up with some like soul sand or something. And yeah, I think we're good. All right, we should be good to go now. So everything is hooked up, cleaned up, and ready to go. I also put an auto collection system just under the house, and it goes into this barrel. So let's do the first test together. maybe we shouldn't do such a big amount. No, let's just go ahead. So let's just throw in a whole bunch of ore. You can hear the droppers going. That's a good sign. Any minute now, we should get something in here. Oh yes, it's working. We should get like 11 at a time. Bunches of 11. Oh, but it's going even faster than that. Oh my god. This is actually great. That went by so quick. I'm going to go ahead and dump the rest then. It's a little worrisome that there's like a big pile of ore right there, but it could be that the hopper minecart that's inside of those blocks is full. There we go. Okay, it's all gone. And if we look in here, yeah, we're still getting our stuff. There's so much noise going on down there. This is wild. And really quick, if anyone's interested, here's another view of the farm and how it all works. So this is like the input up here with the hopper minecart. Everything goes in the dispensers, and then they get auto ejected with this little tiny setup here. They go down these tubes, and they get realigned into a single center spot where a hopper minecart will come and pick them up and equally distribute them on top of hoppers, which all have blast furnaces underneath. You could do the same setup with smokers or regular furnaces. It'll all work the same pretty much. And then we got a bunch of hoppers underneath going into an auto output system. And then what we don't have here is the water tunnel that'll take them to whatever kind of chest you want. But if you wanted to, you could just put like some chests right here instead of the droppers, and it would work just the same. But that's the whole auto smelter, and I think that's it for this episode too. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you think of this whole project. I'm glad we got something to get all the smelting and stuff done, because I'm going to need a whole bunch more iron resources. Like, we might eventually make an iron farm, but for now, this is actually pretty cool. And we'll probably make a few more of these for other kind of smelting projects. But until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Peace out. Bye-bye.